Sandwiches. Americans eat an astounding 30 million every day, and they're as diverse as America itself. From this pork masterpiece in Seattle to this blue-collar classic on Chicago's South Side.
Welcome to Johnny O's. This is the mother-in-law sandwich.
From a smoky pit in Memphis to a showstopper in Austin.
The crunchy, the sweet and the sour, it assaults all taste buds.
And of course, our monster of a number one, from east to west and all points in between.
It's burger time!
Scottsdale, Arizona. Salute.
We crisscross the country to come up with the best of the best. And the verdict is in. Our countdown of America's top 10 sensational sandwiches. Weighing in at number 10 is a supreme sandwich so hugely popular it takes an appointment to get one.
It's burger time!
And if you're lucky enough to be part of the action, you just might answer the age-old question, how do you create the perfect burger?
It's pretty simple. It's the best burger in town.
That town would be Atlanta, Georgia, and the place, one of the city's hottest eateries, Holman and Finch Public House. And this is their pride and joy.
Our perfect classic American burger. Everything that we do here, we try to do from scratch. We try to do it perfect.
Whether it's a plate of food, whether it's a cocktail in the bar, we're gonna make sure that every part of it is of the highest quality, made correctly for you.
Holman and Finch dishes up everything, from marrow bones to homemade charcuterie to pig's tail. But the star meat attraction is the juicy double-decker burger.
It's burger time!
So what's the secret to making this colossal sandwich? It starts with the most essential building block, the meat.
Okay, so we were looking for a perfect grind that gave us the right amount of lean meat and fat so that each bite is juicy and as flavorful as possible. We've gone through 12 different ratios or so, and we've come up with what we think is the best. That consists of 60% chuck and 40% brisket. You can grind them simultaneously, give a nice even consistency between the two meats. Now we're gonna patty it up. We have a mold that we use, form it, lift it out, and there we have a perfect 4-ounce patty.
Next, a pinch of salt, a little onion, a slice of good old American cheese, and these perfect patties are ready for a freshly baked bun.
Months of research went into what we consider is a perfect bun. It's a combination of tender, soft crumb, but at the same time it's sturdy. So that way we can squeeze it and the juices are absorbed by the soft crumb.
But you can't call a burger great until it's crowned with the right toppings. And here at Holman and Finch, they make them all from scratch, right on the premises.
This is a house-made bread and butter pickle. It takes us about 2 weeks to produce. Then we have house-made mustard, which is a yellow mustard that also takes us 2 weeks to produce. And then we have our house-made ketchup. I think the idea is that we make everything in-house that we can, and that's what makes the burger so delicious.
But all this personal attention is at a premium in this busy kitchen.
It would become somewhat difficult to do this perfect burger all night long because then that's all we would end up doing.
So the burger call was born every night at 10 p.m. on the dot, by appointment only.
We can fit 24 patties on the griddle at one time, which makes 12 burgers. So we do it in 2 runs of 12, which gives us 24.
Only 24, and the crowd prepares for their shot at scoring one.
3 goes first, that's right.
It's burger time!
So was it worth the wait?
Most delicious thing I ever had in my life. True story.
That is excellent. Excellent. Oh, it's brilliant. Brilliant burger. You gotta eat one.
Perfect burger, definitely. Yeah. Cooked just right. All the flavors blend together. Best burger in Atlanta.
A burger so good you just might want to give this chef a big bear hug. So there it is, the perfect burger made from scratch. And that's why Atlanta's Holman & Finch clocks in at number 10 on our countdown of the country's top 10 sensational sandwiches.
This is one of those few meals that you'll plan your day around, and it's worth it.
At number 9, an old favorite from the city of brotherly love with a price tag that hardly seems brotherly at all.
My name is Jim Locascio, and this is my $100 cheesesteak.
You heard right, $100. But hold on. Here at Barclay Prime in the heart of Philadelphia, Chef Locascio has performed a lavish makeover on a timeless classic that dates back to the 1930s.
Unbelievable.
The simple Philly cheesesteak.
What we've done over the years at Barclay Prime is looked for the best beef around the world. We decided to go with a hanger just because of the flavor, how bold it is, the marbleization, how easy it is to slice, and how it sautés. It just does so well with the cheesesteak.
There's only one of these prime cuts per cow, weighing just over a pound, and it takes a steady hand to carve it just right.
And I consider myself a surgeon. You know, I didn't have the 8 years of schooling that it takes to be a surgeon.
Sliced paper thin, the steak's now ready to hit the fire.
So we take grapeseed oil, which is a very neutral flavor, high temperature oil, into the pan. You're gonna bring it to the smoke point. Now we're gonna grab our Kobe hanger, put it right in the pan, add a little bit of caramelized onions. I take a little bit of truffle butter, it's black truffles. Give it a couple tosses.
But there's gotta be more than an upmarket cut of beef to command a king's ransom, right?
Here we go, we have some beautiful Maine lobsters, bay leaf, peppercorns, salt, a little aromatic thyme. Goes right in here. We'll break them down. And the next phase would be to, we butter poach them again in European butter.
But what's a cheesesteak, even one all decked out like this, without the cheese? And we mean serious cheese.
We use Taleggio. It's a very robust flavor. It's just such a beautiful cheese. And we're just gonna add a little bit of milk into a pot, cube this up, and we're gonna melt it down. It's already started to thicken up nicely. Now we're getting there. Now we need the vessel to bring everything together, and that is our house-made brioche. So we're gonna grab our steak, which is perfectly cooked. We're gonna pull our lobster out of the butter, slice that down, put our butter poached lobster right on top there. Then we're gonna grab our Taleggio cheese. And last but not least is our fresh French truffles. The reason why black truffles are so expensive is because they're hand harvested. We're talking maybe 8,000 pounds, 4,000 pounds a season. These go right on top here. I'm gonna give them a couple more shavings here because, you know, it is $100.
Oh, Nelly. She's a heavy.
Here is our completed $100 Barclay Prime cheesesteak.
Now it's crunch time. Does this sandwich taste just as good as it sounds?
How was the cheesesteak this evening? Everything is so soft and it just kind of melts together. That's awesome.
Can't do much better than having all these premier luxury ingredients on a house-baked roll. What more can you ask for?
Cheers.
Okay, they taste great, but who will pay $100 for a cheesesteak?
To date, we've sold 2,200 cheesesteaks. That is a lot of $100 cheesesteaks. That's $220,000. So people like it.
Best cheesesteak I've had in Philly so far.
For daring to raise the Depression-era sandwich to the heights of fine dining, Barclay Prime's $100 Philly cheesesteak takes the number 9 spot on our countdown of sensational sandwiches. At Payne's Barbecue on the edge of Memphis, you'll find pork shoulder chopped razor thin and racks of glistening ribs, all slow cooked over white hot charcoal.
Take it out of the sauce.
But it's a smoky twist on every kid's favorite sandwich that has them beating down the door.
Most people come in before they can hit the counter and they yelling out, I want a bologna sandwich.
It's the best bologna sandwich in Memphis.
Let me get a bologna sandwich.
Bologna with slaw.
It's the best bologna sandwich I've ever ate.
1 out of maybe 5 customers is gonna order a bologna. You can get bologna other places, but ours is the best.
But this little mom and pop shop is no overnight sensation. They've been serving up great food in these parts for nearly 4 decades.
The dream of opening Payne's, actually, my husband and I just kind of fell in, you know? We started in '72, and we would have lines like going out of the door. My husband, he could say, may I help you, may I help you? He would go all the way down the line and remember everyone's order. He was good. And Horton died in '84.
Horton Payne left behind a legacy and a worthy heir to his booming barbecue kingdom.
I was 4 when my father passed. He would work, hard, make sure things were in place. I remember just being a child knowing that work was important.
Flora's kept her husband's dream alive, and today she still works the same cozy confines. Only now it's with her son Ron and daughter Candace.
It's wonderful, just to have your own kid by your side.
Small back there, so, we bump into each other, but she's normally one in the way. So
one thing hasn't changed over the years, smoking the bologna slow to perfection.
The bologna does have its own rightful place. We stick it in there and it's just like a cousin to everything else. There's no shame in his game.
We just throw it in there, let it smoke. Doesn't take that long for the smoke to set into the bologna.
Some 3 hours later, the bologna is ready for prime time. Most customers prefer the thickly sliced, smoky, straight from the pit taste, while others go for it with a little deep fried action. As for applying the secret sauce, mother and son don't exactly see eye to eye on that one.
What I do, I put it in the sauce, put it in the pot of sauce that we warm on the stove. My mom would just dab it on with the broom.
Mopped, dipped.
I put it in the pot and let the sauce get on both sides of the bologna, then put it on the bread. Get a nice big spoon of this original Payne's coleslaw to top the sandwich off. And a toothpick, voila.
Ah, the tangy slaw. You can guess all you want, but the recipe for its one-of-a-kind taste is another well-guarded family secret.
I won't say much, I just let the people talk.
Mustard and something else.
I don't know, I have no idea. And I make coleslaw, but I can't catch this one.
Oh, we can't tell. We have to kill you then. We wouldn't be able to air this.
But the true secret to this family success is really not about the food at all.
Customers. I love my customers.
Very good.
This is my second one.
A nice thick slice. Tastes of heaven.
It's got that home feel, and I think that's why most people keep coming back. When I pull up, it says my last name on the building, and that's the best thing.
For keeping a dream alive while turning a tired old lunch meat into a slice of Americana, we put Payne's Barbecue Bologna Sandwich at number 8 on our countdown of sensational sandwiches. At lucky number 7 is another new take on an old classic that brings us here to B&G Oysters on Boston's South End. Chef Barbara Lynch first opened up her cozy bar and grill in 2003, serving up fresh from the sea gems like clams, scallop, and 12 different kinds of mouth-watering oysters.
So B&G, it's a classic New England seafood. Just couldn't find a great oyster bar here in Boston. And I said, oh, we need a really great oyster bar. And so there's B&G.
But it's not just the oyster bar that has put this popular spot on the map. It's a reliable old New England favorite.
We're totally known for our lobster roll. People from the Midwest come in and they've heard about the lobster roll.
Kansas, from Baltimore, from Germany, from Japan. If we ever took it off the menu, there would be riots.
So during the summer season, we will sell about 300 to 350 lobster rolls a week.
1 out of like 3 people will order it when they come in here, so it's great.
I shall have the lobster roll, please.
Sure.
Excellent. Never had such a lobster.
To create this classic, Barbara goes all out.
The actual lobster roll itself is about 1.5 pounds of lobster meat. It's a doozy of a sandwich.
Hey, Luis, what's up, man? I'm good.
But long before the first customer arrives, there's plenty of prep work to be done, and it starts early at 7 a.m. with the delivery of fresh Maine lobsters.
Oh, yeah, these guys.
During the summer season, B&G Oysters goes through a staggering half-ton of lobster meat every week.
So we're gonna steam these bad boys for about 10 minutes. All right, I think they're done. Oh, yeah. We wanna cool them down in the ice water so that they stop cooking. There's nothing worse than overcooked lobster meat.
While the lobsters chill, Stephen attacks a crate full of cucumbers, transforming them into the perfect pickle. A tangy sidekick to the sweet lobster meat.
And take some cider vinegar some salt and some water, and a whole bunch of sugar. And then, of course, a sachet of pickling spice. Bring it to a boil and reduce it by half. We'll pour that right over top and weight them down in a bucket until they come to room temperature, and then they're good to go. Best pickles on earth. They just taste amazing.
It's time to finish prepping the main attraction. Extracting the moist, tender meat. Some 4 or 5 ounces per sandwich. Now that's some kind of lobster.
We're gonna grab the claw and just twist it in there to get the claw and the knuckle off. So we're gonna take each tail here, carefully go down the middle. We don't use lobster crackers because, you know, those are for sissies. You open it up and remove the meat right from the shell like that.
Next, a few lemony splashes to liven things up.
We're gonna give it a bath of some fresh squeezed lemon juice and some salt.
And now the sweet lobster meat is ready for the final touches.
Our special dressing, it's lemon mayonnaise, an egg yolk, a little bit of lemon juice, some grapeseed oil. The secret that I'm not supposed to tell you is lemon zest. It kind of brightens up the whole salad.
But gourmet only goes so far. When it comes to the roll, Chef Lynch believes you can't improve on a classic, the humble hot dog bun, pan sauteed in a touch of butter.
The trick is to stuff it. We're gonna finish this plate with this great homemade coleslaw and our world famous B&G pickles. Hey, this is it. This is our kick-ass lobster roll.
Here's your lobster roll.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
So do customers agree that this is a doozy of a sandwich?
I'm actually from Maine originally, and so I think we have this certain perspective that we own the lobster roll. But what is so classic about this is it's not overdressed, it's very simple. The lobster meat speaks for itself, and it's served on a hot dog bun. I mean, there's nothing more New England than that.
For lifting the king of crustaceans into a lofty new realm, Boston's B&G Oysters succulent lobster roll claws its way to number 7 on our top 10 list of sensational sandwiches. Named for that special lady in every married man's life. And if you ask any guy in this tough Southside Chicago hood, he'll tell you he can't live without her.
I love my mother-in-law.
My mother-in-law? Well, God bless her.
My mother-in-law can give me plenty of grief and heartburn, but I love her to death.
That's because this mother-in-law belongs to the entire neighborhood.
You're welcome.
Welcome to Johnny O's. This is a mother-in-law sandwich.
I'm good sandwich, man. That's why I can't lose no weight.
Good stuff.
I wish my mother-in-law was as good as this sandwich. Unfortunately, she's not.
This mother-in-law is easy to love, but you'll only find her at a handful of Chicago eateries, including Johnny O's.
We've always sold it. Back in '59, when I originated Johnny O's famous beef stand. So we've been selling it for a long time.
That's more than 50 years. Of course, they also serve up the classics at Johnny O's, too. Hot dogs, double cheeseburgers, tamales, french fries, and chili. But the real draw at this hot dog stand and liquor store is the mother-in-law. And you guessed it, she's got a story to tell.
We do the Tom tamales as well as hot dogs, and somewhere along the line, some neighborhood genius decided to start throwing the two of them together, throwing some chili on them, comparing them to their mother-in-law compared to the grief and the pain and the heartburn they may get afterwards.
It's like an explosion goes off in your mouth with the rich flavors. It's delicious.
A guy could get a meal practically with the mother-in-law sandwich. It was a meal and a half.
It's definitely an inner city, South Side Chicago special.
2 more mother-in-laws. All right.
Nice and sloppy.
Now that we know how this mother-in-law of all sandwiches got its name, let's get down to how it's made and why it hurts so good.
I'm gonna take you step by step on how to make a mother-in-law. Here's one of our Tom tamales. Tom tamales are made locally. They're fresh here. They're nice and round, as opposed to traditional tamales, which are flat. They're hard to handle. We got a corn roll on the outside here. We got a filling of beef, pork, and other said meats. Let's move along here. Go in here, we get a hot dog bun. We can use the Marianne buns, another locally baked product. Put our tamale in here. Come over to our chili, pretty much homemade with a canned base. Nice and messy, that's the way we like it.
To top off this masterpiece, load it up with relish, onions, peppers, and pickles. Now we're talking.
This is south side of Chicago right here.
And at $2.49 each, you can't go wrong.
Oh yeah, you're missing out right now.
It's one of my favorite sandwiches, and we do make the best one in town.
I don't know how healthy it is, but that's not a concern. Flavor's where it's at.
For a heart-stabbing Chicago mashup, Johnny O's mother-in-law muscles in at number 6 in our countdown of the country's sensational sandwiches.
Mother-in-law, it holds true with the grief and the heartburn. It's a perfect name for the perfect sandwich.
Coming in at number 5 is an Asian sensation sweeping the nation. A tangy explosion of exotic flavors called the banh mi.
I'm a big fan of reading all the food blogs, and I see the banh mi all over each one of them.
Never heard of it? Well, the banh mi is a Vietnamese pork sandwich topped with a variety of tangy, crunchy vegetables.
We'll garnish it with some cucumbers, cilantro, pickled carrots, pickled daikon.
And here at New York City's chic Ma Pesh restaurant in the Chambers Hotel, this traditional dish is making a big name for itself.
We are just so excited to be here. We flew in from Miami, and before we even checked into the hotel, we came here.
The Ma Pesh menu also offers a tasty squid salad and some sweet and savory ribs. But it's the banh mi that really makes the mouth water.
I've always loved banh mi. It was my comfort food growing up. It's just a good, delicious sandwich, and with flavors that are bright and fresh and filling.
A holdover from when the French colonized Vietnam, the banh mi brings together the best of two diverse cultures.
Oh my God. That was really, really good.
I think one of the greatest part about the banh mi is that it's both French and Vietnamese. You have this amazing tradition of bread baking in Vietnam that was influenced by the French, and of course the baguette being one of them.
The banh mi is actually named after the baguette, but the real secret is in the meat. Usually a pâté or a pâté-style meatloaf known as a terrine, and freshness is definitely the name of the game.
The one thing that we're most proud of is that we make our own products here. We make our own terrines.
After a blending, cooking, and chilling process that takes 3 days, Chef Ho's terrine is finally ready for Broadway.
First, we're going to spread some spicy mayonnaise. Spicy mayonnaise is basically mayonnaise with a little sriracha. We're going to spread our liver terrine, our mortadella and ham. Now we're going to toast this thing up. We're just going to garnish it with some cucumbers, pickled daikon and carrots, and cilantro. And this is our 3 terrine banh mi.
It's delicious. I'm a recovering vegetarian, but it was delicious. The meats themselves are taste pretty indulgent or even creamy.
It was really a surprise in my mouth and a delicious, pleasant surprise. I think that the vegetables on top were just an added bonus.
For bringing together the best of both French and Vietnamese culinary cultures into one irresistible treat, the banh mi from Manhattan's Ma Pesh comes in at number 5 on our list of top 10 sensational sandwiches. Counting down the top 10 sensational sandwiches, our number 4 pick brings us here to Harold's Deli in Edison, New Jersey, where the lines are long and the food is piled way high.
You think that something's going on, that there's a big celebrity, a big party or something, and it's not.
So what's all the hubbub? It's Harold's world-famous triple-decker.
Wow.
There's no other way to put it. Wow.
Feels like
Smith, party and 2, please.
Are you kidding me? Look at that!
Look at that, baby.
There used to be a...
That's lean corned beef, man.
Asked me if I wanted more than one. I said no.
Oh my God, I never thought it was gonna be that big. How many layers is that?
We don't come here to fool around, by the way. Really, seriously.
At Harold's, you'll find oversized favorites, breakfasts, soups, desserts, and tempting sides. But nothing compares to the one and only triple-decker, and the man behind this leaning tower of meat is none other than owner Harold Jaffe.
I've been doing this for 40 years. I started in 1966 with a small little sandwich shop
in Orange, New Jersey, and I was the general manager of the Carnegie Deli. And I went bigger and bigger and bigger, and this is my 15th Harold's.
Harold opened his namesake deli in 1998, and this colossal creation quickly became his crowning achievement.
Stand a little shaky. The triple-decker is big. One triple-decker will feed 8 to 10 people.
It's a jaw-dropping mountain of meat, standing nearly a foot tall and weighing in at a whopping 10 pounds.
The number 14 is our most consistent selling triple-decker. That's pastrami, corned beef, and turkey.
It'll set you back $50, but it will feed your entire family. And then some.
So when a table of, say, 6 to 10 people come in, they order one triple-decker, they order sodas, they go to the pickle bar, and they still leave with doggy bags.
No idea why there were stacks of rye bread until we realized we had to make so many sandwiches out of the one sandwich.
You get some bread, some pickles, sauerkraut, some nice mustard, some meat.
We use all choice meat, very particular in the type of cut and where it comes from. I buy 8,000 pounds of pastrami a week and 8,000 pounds of brisket a week, which we make into corned beef.
You heard right. Every week, Harold's goes through 8,000 pounds of pastrami and corned beef. That adds up to 8 tons of meat every 7 days.
It's the biggest sandwich I ever saw.
People don't believe me until they get here.
And creating the best is a labor of love for Harold's talented chefs.
First he cuts the pastrami. It's going to be at least 2 pounds. Next, corned beef. Then we're going to do the turkey, which is another 2 pounds of meat.
From there, the mile-high mounds of meat are stacked between 3 layers of fresh rye bread and skewered to hold this supersized sandwich together.
Then he takes the whole thing and slices it in half.
Split it, shift it, one more skewer, and this massive sandwich is complete.
This is Harold's famous triple-decker.
It's now up to the friendly waitstaff to get this skyscraper out to the dining room in one piece. As for the reception,
I can't believe how big this is. This is like...
It's a mountain to climb.
Don't be dainty, Cheryl.
I know,
Impossible.
Dig into it, Ma.
for a towering creation that packs a wallop, the triple-decker from Harold's Deli racks up the number 4 spot in our countdown of sensational sandwiches.
We love Harold!
We've seen how a humble sandwich can be elevated to gourmet heights. But number 3 in our countdown flips the script, turning a gourmet dish into one spicy, crunchy, and inexpensive sandwich.
Hey guys. That's so good.
The story starts here in Austin, Texas, the live music capital of the world. At Hudson's on the Bend, executive chef Robert Rhodes serves up one of the most popular dishes in town, the famous hot and crunchy trout.
This is the hot and crunchy trout fine dining style.
This gourmet dish of ruby red trout, breaded with a mixture of cornflakes, nuts, and chilies, is pan-fried, served on a bed of mango jalapeno aioli, and finished with an ancho chili sauce. But it sells for $36 a pop. So when organizers of Austin's annual mega festival asked for a street version of the popular dish, Robert rolled up his sleeves and went to work.
We needed a dish that we could bring into an Austin City Limits Music Festival and sell inexpensively and also be portable.
That meant replacing the most expensive part of the dish, the trout, with savory chicken. Then giving it some street cred.
So this one's avocado.
The result? The wildly popular chicken cone.
We started to put it into the paper cone with a tortilla. That way it's kind of a taco style, easy to eat. You can eat the cone in one hand, drink a drink in the other hand.
I really like the spicy sauce on it because it's just like this really big kick of flavor, and the coleslaw gives a good crunch.
And the secret to all this? It starts with a juicy white meat chicken coated in the same breading of cornflakes, sesame seeds, almonds, and chili flakes as its much pricier fishy cousin.
Chicken, we want to make sure it's cooked all the way through, and so we're going to kind of press it thin in order to speed up the cooking process.
Deep fryers cook the breaded chicken to perfection. Then the chicken is topped with a special slaw, also part of the original recipe, mango jalapeno aioli.
Nice serving. Add the slaw to the cone, take a nice scoop, and shove it right in there.
And finally, the original ancho chili sauce.
Give a nice healthy squeeze of our ancho paint, handheld street food, the chicken cone.
Since taking center stage back in 2002, the chicken cone has been nothing short of a smash hit.
Well, every year we sold more and more.
Chicken avocado cone, please? Sure.
Last year, we sold like 25,000 cones in 3 days.
The sandwich has become so popular, Chef Rhodes and Hudson's on the Bend owner Jeffrey Blank brought their festival hit to South Congress Street in Austin, where folks can now enjoy the chicken cone year-round.
Motivation was just to have fun, you know. Money will follow, you know.
I love it. I first had it at the Austin City Limits Music Festival, and it's the best thing to have on a nice day right on South Congress.
Order up for Blake.
For bringing a dish with fine dining roots to Austin's masses, Chef Robert Rhodes and his ingenious chicken cone score the #3 spot in our countdown of top 10 sensational sandwiches. But how about Seattle? That's right, Seattle's Paseo Caribbean.
Got all things that are good. Got the yellow peppers, pork shoulder, some cheese, and the caramelized onions.
I ate one last weekend. I was kind of like obsessed with it for 2 or 3 days, but I couldn't really stop thinking about it.
You had a dream about it. How can I say no to a sandwich someone has a dream about?
Phenomenal.
When you bite into it, you feel like all the flavor just explodes in your mouth.
Since opening in 1994, Paseo has kept a low profile. There's no sign at the entrance, and Paseo's mysterious owner is hardly ever seen.
So Lorenzo came here from Cuba when he was a child back in the 1960s. He comes in on the days we're closed and makes the black beans, our marinade, our red sauce, our aioli spread. It's all a secret. I don't even know what's in them.
Sean Nielsen fell in love with Lorenzo's famous sandwich 13 years ago, and he's been running the show ever since.
I thought, what a great way to support my Paseo habit, get paid, and maybe learn what's in the sauce. I get paid, I get sandwiches, but I don't know what's in the sauce.
Every day is a mad scramble. Sean begins at 5 a.m. to prepare the meat, sauces, and other ingredients necessary to satisfy the daily demand. A staggering 100 sandwiches an hour until they run out. It all starts with the tender, slow-roasted pork and caramelized onions.
So these onions started cooking about 5 in the morning. We do about 300 pounds a day. A little olive oil, some salt, a lot of love.
Buckets of creamy aioli sauce.
I can tell you it's mayo, garlic, and a few other magical items mixed in here. This will make me about halfway through the day.
And then, of course, there's the bread.
It's not your traditional Cuban bread. This is a little bit more dense. It's kind of crunchy. We toast it. It really just goes well with the sandwich.
So how does the rest of this Cubano-style creation come together? That's one secret that Sean can reveal.
We're gonna slather on a good amount of our secret aioli, some fresh sprigs of cilantro, and then the jalapenos give a nice little kick, kind of cuts the richness of the pork. Next, we're gonna add our succulent Cuban roast pork that's been slow roasting all morning. So we'll just dip it down in our secret Paseo marinade. Put some nice big chunks on here. Caramelized onions. So I'll put about 5 of these slippery guys on here, and a little romaine lettuce. And then serve with an ear corn on the cob.
No wonder the line is so long. And by early afternoon, it snakes all the way down the street.
Paseo's on Fremont, can you hold? We got all these chickens lined up. And you have to start another little pile here.
This is the madness that is Paseo's. We're like this 24/7. Oh, it's amazing.
Right now, 54 bread left, 21 bread left. The line will come to an end in about 18 sandwiches.
And on some days, the demand is so great, the food runs out before the customers do.
People curse at us, storm out, tell us they're never coming back, but they come back next week always. I have bad news for you two. They got the last 2 sandwiches of the day.
But most of the time, supply meets demand, and nobody goes away hungry.
If they're eating this every day in Cuba, it must be a good alive. There's a slap and a tickle.
Little slap and tickle.
There's a slap and a tickle.
Sure is.
deep down inside, I am a little happy to put this sign up. It's a very hectic, crazy day.
For bringing a tropical treat to the chilly Pacific Northwest, Seattle's Paseo Caribbean weighs in at a lofty number 2 on our countdown of the top 10 sensational sandwiches.
It is truly a hidden gem of Seattle.
Wow. 2 grilled cheese sandwiches.
I was scared to try one.
A half-pound cheeseburger.
I don't think I could do it.
A BLT.
Wow.
And a mountain of fried onion strings.
There's no possible way.
Sound like a meal for 4? Not exactly.
Order up.
In this kitchen, these tasty ingredients are combined into a single sandwich. A creation so big, so extreme, so hunger-crushing, it's called the Sasquatch.
It's like 4 sandwiches. It's like 2 grilled cheese sandwiches, and a BLT sandwich, and a great cheeseburger.
Almost as surprising as the sandwich itself is the man who created it. Chef Aaron May of the Lodge in Scottsdale, Arizona, is actually trained in classic French cuisine.
What we try and do here is apply some of the techniques that you learn in France or studying classically and apply that to the way we cook American tavern fare.
The Lodge is a desert homage to a Northwoods tavern, complete with wall trophies and, of course, Sasquatch.
Yeah, you know, as kind of a hirsute gentleman of larger stature, I can relate to the Sasquatch a little bit, I think.
The building blocks for Chef May's piece de resistance: 4 slices of extra thick Texas toast, 5 strips of bacon, 9 slices of cheese, a pile of onion strings, and a half a pound of beef.
We grind our own meat and then we patty it up here. And it's a mix of chuck, sirloin, and a little bit of brisket. You know, I gotta make 2 really tasty grilled cheese sandwiches. So what I do is I'm gonna take some really nice oversized Texas toast, just roll a little whole butter onto there. So throw that down, and right away I'm gonna add my cheese.
And a tantalizing trio of cheeses it is.
You get like that richness of the Swiss cheese, and kind of the sharpness of the cheddar cheese, and then that like perfect gooey meltiness of the American cheese. So I think the hamburger is about medium rare right now. So I'm gonna add my cheese to that, and I'm gonna use the same trio of cheese that I added to the grilled cheese sandwiches for the hamburger.
At most burger joints, the meat would now go right onto the bun, but Chef May lets the patty breathe a little bit. A critical step in the process that locks in the flavor.
You wanna let it rest so the juices go back to the center of the meat and it doesn't drip all over and make the grilled cheese sandwich soggy and run all over the plate.
Next step, assemble the building blocks, using 1 grilled cheese sandwich as a base, then adding lettuce, tomato, and onions.
So we make these crispy onion strings here every morning, and then we've got some really, really nice, crispy, beautiful bacon, and put that right on top of the onion strings. And then I'm gonna lace that up with the mayonnaise side of this other beautiful grilled cheese sandwich. And then we seal it off with a steak knife to kind of hold it all together.
Voila! Say hello to the Sasquatch.
Most people order a Sasquatch burger around, I would say 4 or 5 p.m. because they're going to need about 8 hours to digest before they go to bed.
That's a man burger, baby.
I'd say about 50% actually get through the whole thing.
I got a lot left, and it's going to start hurting soon.
I finished my burger first.
That's some mean feat, because this intimidating creature packs about 1,995 calories and a cholesterol-crushing 155 grams of fat. But then again, who's counting?
Scottsdale, Arizona. Salute.
There you have it, the Sasquatch, a hunger-crushing monster meal that rumbles in at #1 on our top 10 countdown of America's sensational sandwiches. So I guess that leaves us with only one question. Dessert, anyone?